2103, so that shows there's a new power supply. It has to be connected to power the system fan, this new fan, which hopefully is quiet because the other one got so bad it was you could hear it from the next room sort of thing, with diesel engine sounding. All these different things that can get plugged into the main board. The hard drive needs power. The DVD it's a Blu-ray writer, believe it or not. That needs one. The two fans are there. They all come off this snake. But they had buried it in the original installation. They buried the wire for one of the wires to power something underneath the graphics card, so that had to be took out. It isn't so.
It's the only way to do it. It's too long to. It's not long enough to go over the top.
Oh yeah, and that's how you put a card in. It has to slot into a slot. That's a PCI Express slot for that graphics card. Then screw on. I'm used to doing that, but probably couldn't have managed the complete installation of something like this. Changing the power supply and the dreadful fan that was on it, which is in my hand now. Wish I could show it, but yeah, I'm moving it up and down. I'm moving it up and down in my hand now. So the bearings had gone. It's also got what looks to be an expansion card with 2 extra USB 3 slots for ultra fast copying, which is good. And I've run out of even the ones it's got because I've got many snaking off, including extra leads and things. Probably about 7 or 8 hard drives at least in it, even in at any one time. That's a sound card from Creative, which is hardly used because the onboard seemed to have a mode of sending the sound through the HDMI output to the TV using as a monitor, so that was fine. And stereo mix recording, so it's just the line in recording you might need that for if you're gonna. I'm not even sure I've got the right drivers for it. Try getting a new card read. And then what else it's got? It's got a 3 terabyte drive, which the Windows system isn't on, but that's on this small solid state which is underneath it, which is only 100 gigabytes. I'm always running out of space on that, but it's ultra fast. So the idea is to expand it by putting another one of those in. Maybe have to sacrifice one of the DVD drives, there's 2 in, leave just the Blu-ray one, and get a backup operating system so you're not worried about it booting up all the time as I always am. Will it do it? I've got another one to try. You'd have to have programs on both though, wouldn't you? Things licensed, registered as well, so it's a bit difficult, but that's what you've got in the main computer. You've got every computer you see, laptops included, though they won't be built like this, has this main motherboard bit at the bottom there. The processor's now well and truly hidden under that heatsink, but it's a small, almost like a square piece of metal that the circuitry is underneath, and that needs to be kept very cool. On that you have the RAM, which you can hardly see, but those little strips just to the left of where that heatsink tower is. That's the memory that what the computer's doing at any one time. It's supposed to have 16 gigabytes of that. Although the Windows 7 32-bit have installed, stops us using that. So that's one reason to go to the 64-bit. It limits you to 4 gigabytes of RAM only. The power supply at the top there, going on switch. I've upgraded the capacity on that so that it could do more graphics and more drives without potentially risking the system. Apparently we don't use a very powerful one. And then there's And those expansion slots are PCI. They're still called PCI. There's not many of them to do all the things because so much is done on USB. Things that connect on USB now instead of having things built into the actual circuitry of the computer by slotting them in, like with those cards. So we've just got a sound one, a graphics one. So. Can be fiddly with all to snake these things through, and also